All right, I think we're all set. Thank you all for waiting patiently. This is the second of 8 qualifiers that we're doing for the Metroid Dread any percent glitchless tournament. Right now we've got 2 of I think 6 participants we have for this qualifier. So on the left we have Manager, and on the right we have Metroid. Both very evenly skilled players. This match could be pretty even. So right off the bat, any percent glitchless kind of diverges a lot from the runs that allow glitches, and that these runners will be facing off against the broken Emmy right at the beginning of the run. So in like a typical no major glitches or unrestricted run, you would clip Samus's arm cannon into the wall and break the blob from the other side of the wall. This category will be getting to see all the Emmys. Unfortunately, this Emmy doesn't give you anything. So we're just gonna. This is just really a tutorial introducing you to the Omega Cannon. All right. So our runners are currently going into the first Emmy zone here. So this is the Spider Magnet Emmy. This one differentiates itself from all the other ones in the sense that it can't climb through tunnels, which you'll see very shortly here. This Emmy's head plate is a bit too large for it to crawl through this tunnel here. So glitchless kind of has to follow the roundabout path that's sort of set out by the devs. So this is the first level Artaria here. So both of our runners we're gonna go pick up the charge beam first, which takes you in a roundabout path back and forth through. You're gonna take a couple trips through the Emmy zone. Then after picking up the charge beam, they'll go and face off against the Emmy, pick up the Spider Magnet, and on the way out they'll be getting the Phantom Cloak from the boss. So Manny managed to jump right over the Emmy here, and has made it through without any problems. So we've got a small trick coming up here. We'll see if I believe both of our runners go for this. Annie is going into. Okay, they both go. They're both going into the water tank here. Oh, that's right. You don't get cloak first, so you can't go for that actually. Makes sense. So. So we're coming up here on. This is a good Emmy spawn. Manny has plenty of time to go for water platform skip without being noticed. I think Metro, on the other hand, has alerted the Emmy. This could be a little tricky. There we go. That was really close. Both runners able to successfully carry out the water platform skip. And there's Charge Beam, our first item in the run. So this lets you open the dark orange doors. If you hold Y, you get a more powerful beam that can open orange doors, do a little more damage to enemies. Gonna grab the energy tank here. Enemies, especially in in the later parts of the game, late game bosses can do a lot of damage. We're talking like multiple energy tanks worth of damage. So there's definitely a bit of a trade-off in terms of taking the extra time to pick up the energy tank, sit through the dialogue box, but you're in a lot safer of a position against the later game enemies. You can afford to take a couple hits. So we're passing through the Emmy zone again here. But now that we have the charge beam, we can take this door on the top right in the Atom room here. And we're going to activate the thermal doors on the right side of the level. So thermal doors will get introduced a little more in the second level, but basically you can... I think all the thermal doors kind of open on their own in Artaria, but in the next level, opening one thermal door may close another one, so it like changes where you can go throughout the level. But these thermal doors will allow the runners to access the central unit, which grants them the Omega Cannon that they can use against the Emmy.
Uploading data.
There is no you as you can there are.
So Metroid went to pick up the extra missile tank, which I believe is probably for as a safety setup against Corpius, which is one of the bosses in this level. I'll get into that one later, I guess. Keep that in mind. So this is the Artaria Central Unit. Pretty limited arsenal right now, so Manny's just gonna fire a couple missiles at it until the brain falls off of the ceiling. Metroid not too far behind. So with this Emmy, you might remember the broken Emmy, all you had to do was charge up the Omega Blaster and take the shot. But this time you have to fire the beam at it in order to blow the faceplate off so that you can take the shot here and grab the spider magnet. So spider magnet is a lot like the spider ball in the Prime games and Samus Returns. You can climb up blue walls with the spider magnet. You can also grab onto blue ceilings as well. Basically, a lot of if there's something that's really light blue on the wall or on the ceiling, you can probably grab it with the spider magnet. This and the Phantom Cloak are what you really need to get out of this first level. So you'll be noticing sort of a movement optimization in this game. You never want to walk off of ledges. You'll either slide off of them or melee off of them, depending on the gap here. Manny's up against Corpius, first non-Emmy boss here. The goal is to get 26 missile shots onto his head. Unfortunately, gonna need to advance a couple extra phases here. See how Metroid's doing. Nice. So Metroid managed to defeat Invisible Corpius with his missile count before having to advance to a third phase. So that allowed him to catch up a little bit, I think. That's the extra missile pack doing him favors here. So now with the Phantom Cloak, you can hide from enemies, but that's slow. So really, the big thing you're going to be really doing with Phantom Cloak here is avoiding slipping off of slopes occasionally, as well as sliding through these cloak doors here. Let's see. Both of our runners are able to leave Artaria without riding the slow ceiling elevator. Very good. And that's the first level. We'll be coming back here a couple times, though. Artaria has 3 more pickups in the glitchless route. A lot of revisiting. You never only go to one level like once, except for like the last one. So this is Cataris. This is the fire level. You can imagine if you're familiar with Metroid franchise at all, what kind of power up you're gonna want to get through the fire level. So this is hopefully the last time both runners will be talking to Adam the computer. This level has a very precise skip, the aptly named Adam skip, and if you succeed in performing it, you don't have to talk to him anymore. It saves a lot of time, takes a lot of time to stand on the platform, upload the data, scroll through the dialogue. You do that a lot in a typical playthrough of this game. So Manny gets this damage boost off this enemy, lets you jump onto the spider magnet a little earlier. Metro doing a slightly different setup and makes it up as well. A lot of speed tech, like skipping the elevator at the end of Artaria, this damage boost here. There's a lot of like variations in terms of like the setups that you can do. It's really cool to kind of see like the different approaches that runners will take. So this is the green Emmy zone. So the green Emmy can climb through tunnels. They made this one's head small enough that it can crawl into tunnels. This one has the morph ball upgrade. You won't be able to pick it up immediately, as the central unit is locked behind wide beam, which is in another area. Manny got bad RNG on the Emmy spawn, but managed to get through the area fast enough to barely avoid it. So Metro managed to slide under the gap, or through the gap in the floor, while hitting the thermal switch. So basically, that allows you to return to the room to the right, and the enemies won't respawn. I'm assuming that's a proximity thing. Alright, so Manny is coming up on Adam skip. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Second try, not bad. I think Metrol is using the that feature of the Switch to try and see the see the visual cues on the wall a little better. Yeah. Unfortunate that that sort of increases the gap right now between the two runners, but there's still plenty of the run left. There's a lot of really precise skips coming up later on. I'm not really sure what kind of route both our runners settle on, but there's a bit of a... It's still a little up in the air in terms of preference. There's no like one route I think that everybody settles on doing here. All right. So one more thermal switch here, and Manny is going to be taking the train over to Dyron, which has the wide beam. All right, so I'm kind of taking a peek at the timer here just to kind of have a quantitative number for the gap here. So Manny closed out of the text box to take the train at 17:16. So it's a roughly 20-second gap. That's pretty good. We're pretty early on. Well, again, you know, a lot of things can happen. All right, so the whole deal with this level is large sections of the room have the power turned off, which means can't activate any terminals or open doors. But the first one, the power's right there. So Manny's going to turn on the lights so that can open the door to wide beam. So wide beam is, I think, a pretty straightforward, aptly named power up. You get to shoot 3 beams out of your cannon instead of one, so it lets you open doors like that. There's also blocks that require the wide beam, like this guy. And the wide beam lets you do more damage, so it's also useful in combat. So on the way out of Dyron, you have to get a brief encounter with the yellow Emmy. This one's the speed booster Emmy, so it can go fast. Despite this being a speed run, the yellow Emmy can outrun you. But there's a few brief encounters with the yellow Emmy. You're hoping you get good spawns so that you don't have to cloak and hide from it, basically. So both the runners are making it back to pick up the morph ball from the green Emmy. There are a couple different setups that some runners use to set up to defeat the green Emmy. Depends on see what these see what our runners here are doing. Very clean green Emmy from Manny. Metroid is going to take on the green Emmy himself. Let's see what's... Alright. Looks... I'm not going to say anything. Alright. Not bad. Looks pretty good. Alright. So, 20 minutes into the run, we've acquired the morph ball, which lets Samus roll through tunnels. Gonna jump over this missile pickup. Doesn't need it. Alright, it's like Manny is picking up the Missile 10 pack for Kraid, which is going to be coming up in a little bit. Who needs missiles? It's a good question. Let's see. Both runners opting to get the extra missiles, which is a good idea. Not bad. So we're going back to Artaria. Hey, it's the first level. You might recognize this little water area from the beginning of the run. But now with the morph ball, you can jump into this tunnel here and access this area of the level. Alright, so we got the climbing section here. Everything is collapsing. Both runners are making their way up to pick up the Varia suit at the top of the level. Alright, so Kraid is coming up for both of our runners. Pretty significant source of RNG, really. So Kraid likes to open with one of two attacks. Either he's gonna throw his claws at you, which is preferred, or he's gonna vomit up a bunch of fire, which we don't want. The vomit phase is a lot more difficult to fire projectiles into his mouth because he's kind of looking up at the ceiling. It's a lot easier to just kind of rapid fire missiles into his mouth while he's throwing his claws. So we'll see what we're taking a little swim in the soup, the spicy sauce. All right, let's see. Kraid is opening with the vomit phase for Manny. Could be an opportunity for Metroid to catch up a tiny bit. And what do we got on the right? And he got claws. Metroid got claws, but I did see that Manny got to take the ladder up, or I don't know if he got the ladder attack early or not. Maybe. Oh no, yes he did. He jumped up the ladder rather than taking the magnet up. So that's also another kind of source of RNG. If you don't go for single wall jumps. So the power up behind Kraid here is the diffusion beam. Lets you fire your projectiles kind of soak into the wall a little bit, so you can hit blobs like that that are behind the wall. You can also hit enemies in the ground. So 2802 closing out of the dialogue box to out of the purple elevator. Let's see here. Oop, bumped into the guy. I think the lead is a bit wider now. Just a little bit. Around 25 seconds. So still pretty close. Still could be anybody's game for sure. Both runners, I think have their PB in like the low 120s range. So like I think Metroid has a 120 and Manny has a 121. And so that means there's still plenty of run left for both of them. So both runners are going to grab the grapple beam early. So this is kind of famous for being one of this game's developer-intended skips. So the devs have a couple of gaps that you can cross using what's called a coyote jump, where you have a couple of extra frames in the air to jump out of. So if you're really good with your coyote jumps, you can take this elevator over to Artaria. And grab the grapple beam early. For this run in particular, having grapple beam early really helps routing wise. Lets you pull a couple of grapple blocks to create shortcuts. And in general, pretty good. Good power up. So back to Dyron. Our runners are off to grab morph ball bombs, the regular kind. Another Metroid classic. Lets you destroy bomb blocks. This game has bomb slots that let you roll through really long tunnels with them. So Manny gets to run right through this Atom room here, and gets to skip him because both runners did Atom skip earlier. Basically, the game has like an expected order in which you visit each of the Atom terminals throughout the game. And so there's an Atom terminal over in Cataris that the runners just didn't interact with at all, and so the game is still waiting for them to go and talk to him over there, but they're never going to do it. I think pretty good yellow Emmy encounters overall. I didn't really see Manny have to cloak or anything to hide from the yellow Emmy. Yellow Emmy seems to be cooperating today. Very good. All right, so with bombs, we'll be going over to the water level of this game, but not before coming up on everyone's favorite. All the runners love the golfing mini game in Metroid Dread. So we'll get to see how good our runners' golf games are today. All right, so Manny managed to get a hole-in-one. So basically, as you're kind of falling down that column there, your goal is to morph and instantly enter the tunnel without having to jump into it. We like to call that golfing. Let's see. So Metrol's coming up on the same one. Here we go. Well, both of our runners, we get to take another shot at this. They'll be passing through the same tunnel again in a little bit. Metrol will have a chance to redeem his golfing title and even things out if Manny misses the hole-in-one the second time. See, so early grapple benefits us here because you can pull this grapple block, and that cuts out a lot of underwater movement, which is really slow because we don't have gravity suit yet. And there's another grapple block later on, very, very soon actually. So the trade-off really is early grapple lets you do this part early, but or do this part a little faster because you get to pull on some grapple blocks where you normally wouldn't. But that means you have to go visit Artaria twice, which for some routes, like the current fastest route of any percent no major glitches, doesn't do early grapple because it's technically faster to go and grab it on the way to screw attack. All right. So next power-up is the Flash Shift, brand new ability, I think, in the series. It's a little dash, a move that depletes your Phantom Cloak meter. You have to do three dashes at a time, and then you have to let the meter fill up. Looks like Metro's going for backdoor flash, basically by bomb jumping over this plate here. You can open the door and go in through the back like that. Backdoor flash doesn't save nearly as much time if you've already done early grapple, but it still saves some time. Cuts out some underwater movement. Alrighty. So that's really all the runners have come for in Berenia this time around. I think there'll be 3-4 more visits depending on routing, I think. So with the flash shift, our runners have everything they need to go and take on the yellow Emmy. Metro's getting bullied by fish right now. Those fish take a lot of projectiles. Very, very bulky creatures. I think one small little optimization thing I can point out here is you'll have noticed that our runners will be kind of hopping across the ground while underwater. It's faster to jump around repeatedly than it is to walk until you get the gravity suit, which completely eliminates any movement penalties you would normally get underwater. Alright, so with the speed booster, our runners are probably going to be going without picking up a major upgrade for a little bit. So the next upgrade on the roadmap here is super missiles, and that's still a ways away. You can see with the speed booster here, you get to run really fast. Very crucial element of a speed run. There's a lot of like very intricate mechanics with this power up in terms of making sure you keep your speed booster going as long as possible through like very precise platforming sections, as well as storing your speed boost in the form of a shine spark and redirecting your momentum elsewhere. So we'll get to become really familiar with this tool later on. So both runners, you see Metrol here entering morph ball mode before shine sparking up that column, avoids the cinematic camera pan of Samus going up the column, which saves a little bit of time. So both of our runners going over to Ferenia, brand new area. Just kind of briefly passing through. We're going to fight this robot Chozo here. Basically, both runners are going to set up 2 speed boosts and shine spark into it to very quickly end the fight Really good, QR Chozo. So the QR standing for Quiet Robe, which is there's a dude in the cutscene that is being skipped, named Quiet Robe. Metroid's having a bit of a harder time here. The robot Chozo is going all over the place. Still pretty good. Probably lost a little bit of time there. So Quiet Robe, basically talking to Quiet Robe opens up a new path in Berenia that lets our runners get to super missiles. So it's the fastest way to get there, even if you have to fight a boss on the way over. Manny is coming up on the golfing minigame once again. Let's see if he can get another hole-in-one. Ah, man. All right. All right, so while we wait for Metroid to set up for hole 2 of the golfing minigame, Manny is currently in Berenia 2. Oh, here we go. Big guess. Manny wins the golf game this time around, but the race could still go to anybody. Very nice speed keep through the morph tunnel there. This is any percent glitchless, which means both of our runners have to take on Drog, the squid monster. Really good speed boost. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we're... So Manny is repeatedly running into the boss in an attempt to one-cycle it, which he did successfully. So this basically running into the boss repeatedly sort of delays that the tentacle parry attack from later on. Very, very well done. We're going to see Metroid on his way over to hopefully do the very same. He's doing it from the right. Still looks pretty good. Yep, there we go. All right, and Manny is currently getting ready to take on another robot Chozo. This one's got gold armor, which means, I don't know, I guess like higher ranking He does have a little more health. That's why we come in with a speed booster to take out a good chunk of health. So another Quiet Robe kind of did us a favor here and shut off the Emmys. So the Emmy in Gavarin here, the blue Emmy, shouldn't be a problem, I think. Hopefully it stays that way. All right. So super missiles in this game are sort of like shared with regular missiles. They're not like a separate resource like in, you know, preceding Metroid games like, you know, Fusion or Super. This is a really... Oh, okay. That was a really shaky fight against the gold robot Chozo. I was a little worried for Metroid's safety there, but he managed to get past it no problem. Yeah, right. Fusion, they were the same. My bad. My apologies. But yeah, so basically the missiles do more damage now at the cost of being a little slower to fire. You can also break green missile covers now. So after supers, we're going to Elon, which is the smallest area in the game, or one of them if you count Itarash, the final level. So this level has the plasma beam, as well as a very important plot device that we'll be introduced to. So you can see here, the X-Parasites from Fusion have returned. So going forward, nearly every enemy is being mimicked by an X-Parasite, and so you'll have to kill it and then absorb the X-Parasite to pick up... Somehow the X-Parasites have returned. Yeah. Somehow they did it. So Manny's, I think, going to attempt a speed keep here out of Elon. Very nice. Is he going to get to do this, the Shine Spark into the Evil Door? He does. That's really good. And we've got this Chozo Warrior X-Parasite monstrosity. This isn't the only one we'll be seeing, by the way. Any percent glitchless encounters quite a handful of these guys, actually. So I should talk a little bit about Plasma Beam, huh? So basically, Plasma Beam lets you shoot through like metal enemies. So like the robot Chozos. You can also open those green door covers. So this is sort of like an upgrade to the wide beam. Let's see how this speed keep goes. Very nice. Great. Great speed booster use from both of our runners, really. Very well done. So coming up for both our runners, and Manny specifically here, is one of two skips that are exclusive to glitchless. So this is hopefully we'll be seeing glitchless early ice. So the goal is to get the ice missile without going around out of the way and picking up spin boost. So this is a very precise speed keep that requires keeping your speed boost through this tunnel, coming up here, and there we go. So you can speed boost your way across that underwater gap and get to Ice Missile early. Typically, in a speedrun that uses glitches, oh no, not the blue Emmy. You would do a water bomb jump, which is banned in this category. You're not allowed to do it. Don't even think about doing it. Don't even think about not doing it. Water bomb jumps are glitches, and that's typically how you would get that. But there is a very precise setup that allows you to get it. Oh, the blue Emmy did not end up in a favorable position for Metroid. Can he parry his way out of this one? Fortunately, no. That is really unfortunate. Sometimes the blue Emmy can just be in a really bad location like that. It's really good at hearing. I don't know if its hearing is like better than most Emmys. It certainly feels that way, though. Come on. Oh, no. Come on. Oh. This is really nerve-wracking. Oh, no. I thought for sure he would have tried to leave. This blue Emmy is taking no prisoners today. Alrighty. Metroid is taking another try. Oh, this is his first try at glitchless early ice, I think. Oh no. I can imagine the Emmy encounter is probably shaking up his nerves a little bit. Let's hope he gets glitchless early ice. The sooner the better. I believe in him. He's pretty good at this. Unfortunately, losing speed on that jump across that gap. Basically, you have to be really careful about when you morph and unmorph in speed booster mode. If you unmorph or morph in the air, you will lose your speed boost. Meanwhile, over in the red corner, Manny is off to get the gravity suit in Berenia. Oh, no. Oh no. The timing on how long you have the shine spark there is not the most lenient. So you did be pretty quick. So this is a backdoor access to gravity suit. You get to do a very secret speed booster puzzle. You have to show off your ability to use the speed booster if you want to access gravity suit from the back. Looks like Metroid was able to safely make it over to the central unit. So this could be a pretty big route divergence depending on where Metroid ends up going, and I believe I know where he's what route he uses. I believe Metroid is going to be going for the glitchless early screw attack, which means he'll be going in a little bit different of a direction if he chooses to do so. So we'll get to see two very different routes showcased by our runners here. So So Manny's trip to Screw Attack is going to involve passing through Frozen Artaria, defeating Experiment Z57 to unfreeze Artaria, and then returning to pick up Screw Attack. We're going to face off... Oh! I think that was an accidental Shine Spark there. I'm assuming that wasn't intended. You want to come into this fight with a Shine Spark, otherwise you have to do a little bit of extra shooting. This Chozo warrior has a shield, and thus having a speed boost breaks up the shield immediately. Very good red Chozo warrior fight. Did Manny flash out of that room or not? I guess it doesn't really matter for any percent glitchless. That's like a huge no-no in 100%. Because if you flash through that door in Hundo, the next time you pass through that door, the game's gonna take a little extra time to load the room. Metroid is going to be attempting a developer-intended early space jump, I think. So he's going to be trying to enter the space jump room from underneath here. It requires 3 very precise bomb drops. And they have to all be dropped in pretty quick succession so that the bomb drops don't... the bomb blocks don't respawn. You gotta slide your way up into that column there, which is a little tricky. Very good. Great, great early Screw Attack. Or, excuse me, early space jump. The other power-up that starts with S. There's a lot of those now that you think about it, but there are a handful of developer-intended skips that we won't be seeing. We missed out on developer-intended super missiles, for example, but we have a category extension for that. It's called Mercury Steam %. But I digress. This isn't Mercury Steam %. I'll keep discussion of other categories to a minimum. So while Metro makes his way over to Screw Attack, which I believe is next, Manny's going to go and take on Experiment Z57, another RNG-based boss. So this is the boss where you want the Vomit attack instead of the Claws attack. The attacks are going to look a little different from Kraid's, but this time around, the Vomit attack is faster. And we're opening with Claws. Not desirable. Double Claws. Man. I guess he got Vomit on Kraid and Claws on Experiment, which is the combination you don't want. But you got plenty of E-tanks for this, so I think he'll be alright. He's going to put his claws up along the walls here. Going to do some quick charges to take them all out. Oop, that was really close. And now he's going to do the wind attack. I don't really know what to call this. So the goal is to store a speed boost during this attack and then release the Shine Spark into Experiment's head. Just like that, and Experiment is no more. So, depending on how early Screw Attack goes for Metroid, this could actually still be really even. He's currently up on having picked up Space Jump early, which kind of benefits his movement a little more. But But he's still also short gravity suit. So yeah, it's still a little bit, still pretty close, I think. I don't really know the exact time difference between these two routes. Got to make it through the cold room without gravity suit. It's a little scary. Not a problem. So it looks like both of our runners might actually end up picking up screw attack around the same time, which is kind of funny. So Metroid's got to do these really precise space jumps up the slope here. So basically, the space jump is sort of nerfed in the sense that you have... basically, the game sets your maximum height to be like the height of your first jump in the water, and you can't normally jump any higher than that. But you can adjust your maximum height by jumping up against that sloped ceiling there. Very good glitchless early screw attack, though. Seems like he got it relatively quickly. Meanwhile, Manny is on his way over to get cross bombs. I think both runners are... So Metro still needs to get gravity suit, and Manny still needs to get space jump. However, I think space jump is a little less out of the way, because Ferenia has two other power-ups that both runners still need to pick up. Storm missiles and wave beam. So I'm honestly kind of curious how the rest of this is going to play out. So you can actually kind of see the difference in movement here. Like how much of a benefit having a space jump is. Trivializes a lot of platforming where you can just jump infinitely up rooms and stuff. So both of our runners taking this sort of backdoor entrance over here. Looks like Manny is setting up to get a nice quick kill on Golzuna here. So this room is long enough that you can store, if you store your speed boosts at just the right time, you can take out this boss in 3 speed boosts rather than a boatload of missiles. So cross bombs, everybody loves cross bombs. They work all the time, as long as you ask nicely. So with cross bombs, we're gonna pass through Panubia here, and I believe Manny's gonna make his way over to Storms next. Metro, meanwhile, doing the speed booster puzzle in Verenia. Oh, okay. So, depending on how familiar you are with speed tech in this game, you can pull that grapple block from the other side, but that's a glitch, and glitches are banned. So, Manny has to take the long way around and pull the grapple block from the correct side. Alrighty. So space jump lets you jump up this really big column in Berenia really fast. I take out the twin gold chozos. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Yeah, so Manny is on his way over to Storms right now. So slightly different routing. If you are grabbing all three items in the same trip to Ferenia, it is faster to grab storm missiles first, and then you can go and you can basically enter the. Hopefully we'll get to see it. He's gonna, I think, aim to enter the space jump room and then leave immediately without having to take the long way around. But we'll see. Metroid, meanwhile, still has a bit of ground to cover here. On his way over to cross bombs. So both of our runners here are on their way over to fight an ex-Parasite boss. Metroid with Gulzuna and Manager with SQ. So SQ is nice cross bomb, so he's going to kind of bounce off the boss here. And was that a 2-cycle? Yes, it was. So by respinning with the screw attack, you can get 2 hits in on the ex-Parasite blob rather than the usual 3 that you have to do. Saves a little time. Basically, the blob you have to wait for the blob to blink 9 times, I think, for SQ before you can before you're allowed to jump into it again, before it loses its iframes. So Manny is setting up for a double Robot Chozo fight. This time it is 1 gold and 1 regular one. He has a lot of tools in his arsenal. He's got screw attack. Sometimes I don't think people use storms anymore for these bosses, do they? I remember back in the day, I think more people did use storms, but probably not anymore. So let's see. Basically, Manny's going to try and store a speed boost, quickly break open both of these missile doors, and launch a Shine Spark into the room. And if he did it fast enough, he should be able to flash shift backwards out of the door before it shuts behind him. That is a one-way door, so if it shuts behind him, he has to take the long way around. And he managed to do it. Very nice. Alrighty. So coming up next on the left is Wave Beam. One of the second to last, I guess, upgrades we'll be receiving in the run. So with the power of screw attack and space jump for this last central unit, all you have to do is come in with a speed boost, and then you can screw attack into the brain from up there, and defeat it in like one hit. We'll see what kind of setup Manny uses against the purple Emmy here. Playing it safe from the looks of it. Gonna open up a quick escape route, but we're gonna just kind of get some free shots in on it while it's crawling through this tunnel here. Oh, Metroid gets to do a slightly different speed keep here, I guess, because he has space jump. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. Alrighty. So Manny's on his way to go get power bombs. So the power up he just got, wave beam. The ultimate beam weapon, it lets you shoot through any kind of wall, and your particles go all the way through it. So you can hit blobs that are all the way in walls. You can hit purple beam covers, of which we'll see a few. And on the other hand, we've got storm missiles. I'd make a clever quip about I remember back when they were called Seeker missiles, but I played Prime 2 after this one, so perhaps I'm not in the place to say that. But they work just like the Seeker missiles do in Metroid Prime 2. So you hold the missile button and you can point several reticles at points on the wall or enemies, and then you launch them all at the same time. Getting caught by the Emmy here is a little unfortunate, but not bad. Kind of jumping back and forth here. Let's see how Metroid handles Twin Rope. Pretty much the same. Good. Just kind of mashed through it. He's going to make his way through the cold room here. For wave beam, Manny's going to be picking up power bombs. That's the last Emmy, by the way, the orange one. Again, any percent glitchless, one of the few categories that actually encounters all 7 Emmys. All right, let's see. So power bombs, pretty straightforward. You drop a large bomb that has a really large blast radius, can break open any regular bomb block as well as power bomb blocks and other nearly indestructible terrain. Really nice speed keep here. So holding the speed booster in morph ball mode lets him drop a power bomb in front of the ceiling there, and then he exits out of morph ball mode to store the shine spark and redirect it upwards into the ceiling. Metro, on the other hand, is going for a very different setup for the purple enemy. So he's going to stand up right against this corner, and he's going to try to land as many shots on the faceplate as possible. This is very risky. You got to be able to land. You can't miss a lot of shots here, but he was able to blow off the faceplate here and get the quick kill. Very nicely done. Alrighty. So now you're coming up on the left is Ravenbeak, dear old dad, the final boss. And so the goal here is where there's a couple of things we're going to be looking out for during this final boss fight. So Ravenbeak is a 3-phase fight. So step 1 is we're going to try to make it through the shield phase like immediately. So this is called, in the community, we call it gold skip. Basically, we're skipping the part of phase 1 where Ravenbeak has a gold shield and you have to just kind of wait for him to throw the... Oh, is he doing... I don't know if he might not be doing gold skip. I see, okay. So Manny is doing a sort of backup strat where he uses the... he turns the shield magenta, and then he waits for Ravenbeak to prompt a counter here. And so then, after that first phase, he's going to go for turning the shield red and finishing him off there. So this is phase 2. Basically, we're going to glue Samus right up against the wall here and get as many rocket shots as possible. Basically, the goal is to keep Ravenbeak right up against this wall here, so he doesn't jump around too much, and it's a lot easier to get as many rocket shots in on as possible. Pretty good. Manny did have 56 missiles, which means he's going to have to do a little bit of extra wave beam here. He might have missed a couple too. And for phase 3, basically we want Ravenbeak to prompt a parry as soon as possible, which is, random. He may choose not to do it at all, or he won't do it until so late into the fight that it's worth it to pause. But I guess this is good enough. Basically, whenever you parry a boss's attack and enter like this cinematic part of the fight where you can just wail a bunch of missiles on him, the missiles actually do reduced damage. So it's usually we try to avoid doing that in other boss fights. Very, very nice Ravenbeak overall. Very clean. Metro is making his way over to Gold Chozo, the ultimate Chozo warrior. And Manny is finishing up the escape section. So we've got RBX, Ravenbeak X, the unholy combination of Ravenbeak, Kraid, and a giant X-Parasite is slowly making his way over. We're going to hit him with a really big laser. So we've got this escape section is a really good opportunity to show off some really slick movement, handful of cool speed keeps in this section. You got to get out of there quick. What can I say? Planet is about to explode. Manny's jumping up a little bit before doing the Shine Spark there to avoid another cinematic. We're about to come up on time here. I'm getting ready. All right, that is a 120.42. Very good. We've got Ravenbeak coming up again on the right. We'll see how Metroid takes on the final boss. We might be able to see a different different set of skills here. So he's going right into gold skip mode. He's gonna get a couple storm locks in on here and just start mashing. Very nice phase one. Alrighty. We got phase two, looks pretty clean. Hoping for a counter as soon as possible on phase two, or phase three, excuse me. Ravenbeak is not so generous with his counters this time around, or his parries. Looks like he might go through the whole phase without seeing one at all. Oh. So you can see Metroid opted to cancel out of the parry there because he'd already done so much damage that it's probably faster to just finish him off normally rather than go for the cinematic parry cutscene. Alright, we've just got escape for Metroid, and we'll be wrapping things up, I guess. Alright, I'm looking at the race time. Looks like all of our qualifiers have finished, but let's see. Metroid's still going on the stream here. Very nice speed boost usage. Oh, bonked into the wall at the end. Very unfortunate. But very good job from both runners. Are we doing interviews for this sort of thing? I see Manny is in voice, so I don't know if he wants to come on in here, and I guess Alrighty. So all 6 of our racers have finished. We've got hold on a second. All right. Well, I'm offering, I guess, if the runners would like to come on in here, and I'll try to. I can inquire about their runs. Feel free to jump in for a little bit, I guess. Um,
Hello, Labnum.
hey, great job. 120.42.
Yeah, a PB of just 2 seconds. But honestly, if I just get a 120 in general, I would have been happy nevertheless. But that
Yeah.
was really
Overall, I mean, pretty solid gameplay. I mean, I think the biggest things that stood out to me were not even your fault. Like, you got like the vomit phase on Crate and you got claws on Experiment, but seems like
yeah.
all your other tricks, like Atom Skip, glitchless early ice, all went really smoothly.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing I wasn't particularly happy about was if you notice I was trying to spark into the frozen Altaria Chozo, and I accidentally
Oh,
involuntarily
right.
sparked after the blob, and then the door closed on me when I was trying to get a second spark, so I had to back off again. That cost
Yeah,
like
I remember that.
12 seconds. Yeah, that was I was not happy about that. That was entirely my fault.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, and for glitches early eyes, I'm really happy that that it turned out really well. I'm doing a faster setup where you just skip the bomb block from reforming, but I haven't practiced the super glitches early ice method that All Candy set up, where you just spark from the left side of the water, so you go all the way up the mushroom shaft. I need to apply that still, so I need to practice that more.
mhm. All right. So I think what is this? Is this your first or your second qualifier?
Second qualifier. I did the
Second.
morning qualifier as
Um,
well. Yeah.
are you planning on doing any more to try and bring your average down? Because I think the way we're doing this is what we take the average
No,
of your best two, right?
the average of the best two. I might be able to, I'm considering doing the 2 p.m. one tomorrow and next Saturday's one at like noon. I think I'll try to go for that as well, but I don't think I'll do the other qualifier times.
All right, we're trying to get a invite link over to
To
Metro so
Metro.
that he can join. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can reach out to somebody on my behalf.
I can reach out to him. Like, I can just send like an invite or
Yeah,
whatever, or just
if you can send a valid Discord invite, um,
Do you want to join post-game interview?
But no,
Oh,
yeah,
he
I
wants.
think overall, but between the two of you, this is like really good in terms of we got to really showcase not only like different routes, but you guys had like some slightly different strats for like Ravenbeak and Purple Emmy. So you got to, I think you both really got to show off like very different approaches, which I always think is really cool. Like there's several solutions that this game has to offer. So
Yeah, I like the fact that you I'm pretty sure you commented on that. Metro and I used completely different routes after Ice Missiles. Metro went for Glitches Early Space, and I went to Frozen Altaria.
correct, yeah. It was really hard to tell, but I don't know if you saw things pretty much. Glitchless Early Ice was not too kind for him. I'm sure he'll have
I got a
comments
comment
on
from
that.
I got a message from a friend who was spectating the match, and he mentioned that Metro got caught by Blue Emmy twice, which really sucked.
Yeah. In terms of that, he glitchless early screw attack for him was pretty clean for the most part. I don't really didn't have any complaints there. I'd say looked pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, for sure. I know he loves he praises Glitch's early space a lot because he's like really good with the fundamentals. So I'm not surprised he did that part pretty well. One thing I can send an invite to him directly. I don't have permission to do that. I don't know if you
I see.
can.
Okay, let me see if we can.
Because I know he said he messaged me saying he wants to join in. I forgot who. Wait, who gave me the invite? Let me see if I can find that invite link.
I sent out a ping, seeing if we can get him an invite.
Where did I?
While we're waiting for Metro, I don't know if there's like a schedule. Anything that I mentioned earlier. This is the second of 8 qualifiers. So we'll be doing two a day for basically the next tomorrow as well as the next weekend. So we've got. Let me see if I can't find. I'm looking for the ping in the Dread.
Oh wait, hold on. Someone's asking for his
Discord.
tag. Yeah, hold on. Let me. I can.
Yeah, if you've got that.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for Metrol to come in, mark your calendars, I guess. We've got 2 qualifiers going on tomorrow. One is at 2 p.m. Eastern, and the other is at 10 p.m. Eastern. So definitely to accommodate for folks around the globe, really. We've got runners from everywhere, really. I think one of our runners today is from France, right?
Which runner? I think I know.
Tatsu's from France, right? Or
I think he's French.
am
I
I
know
thinking of
in
I might be thinking of somebody else, but yeah, we
could
got
be
a couple
French. I
runners
know
from France. I know we've got. I don't think we have anybody
Andy,
participating from Japan. We've got a couple runners from Japan.
yeah, I know in the morning qualify all Candy participated. He's from Portugal.
Right. Yep. We got a good. All right. I do see Metrol in the setup.
There we go. Yeah, I see him. He's in setup now.
Do we just give him a bit, or maybe I just pull him in here manually, or I don't know.
Yeah, if you can pull him in, I think
Yeah.
it's probably for the best.
Sure. Hey there.
Hey, Metro, can you hear us? Could be mic issues.
Yeah. I'm down to give him a little bit, as long as the
Sure, yeah.
folks at Speedgaming are all right with it. I don't know if they need this, if they need Speedgaming 4 for another thing.
Yeah.
I know they're running a lot of stuff going on at once, so.
Yeah. Oh wow, a lot of runners. I just noticed in the Dread PB's channel, a lot of people PB'd in this qualifier, not just
Oh,
me.
really?
Yeah, Tatsuche got a 120.17. Hobbit also got a PB, 124.26. So it's overall, as I say, it's a pretty successful qualifier for most of us.
No, yeah, I gotta do my qualifiers. I'm hoping to show up to at least one tomorrow. I did one practice run today,
Nice.
so it's pretty fun, honestly. Like it's definitely a lot different, you know, from NMG, which is like, you know, what I'm a lot more used to. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, everything else was pretty standard fare. Decent ADM. Early game was fine. Mid game was all right. First Notaria is probably like my weakest spot, but everything afterwards was like I'm satisfied with. Right. No, I think it's probably because of the mic thing. I know Metro was trying
wouldn't
to
that be
adjust.
in Discord, not OBS?
Oh wait, no, in this. Actually, yeah, it should be in Discord too. Actually, I need to shut off OBS. There's no point for me keeping that on. Wow, Delusional got a 115.50. That guy is insane.
No,
Like
yeah, I'm really looking forward to, you know, like he's like very good at this game. I know we've got a handful of high level runners like Sat and B Dog. I don't think they've done. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they'll
yeah,
what they'll end up cashing out with.
yeah, that would be very interesting. It's really fun because I remember in the very first Dread tournament for any percent NMG, Delusional was just like just watching speedruns and getting comfortable with the speed game. But now he's like one of the top. Like it's crazy
Oh
how
no,
much
yeah.
time he's dedicated. It's like paid off really well. I'm proud of him.
Oh,
Oh, and I think he's trying to rejoin with
oh, there we go.
audio.
Hello.
Hello?
I heard something.
I saw the green around his
Yeah.
icon, which indicated that audio went through.
Oh, reset everything. Is your audio input your microphone?
I thought I heard a faint switch noise in the background. I
Ah,
picked that up.
Test, test, test.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. We hear
Yeah.
you loud and
Oh,
clear.
hi. Perfect.
Hey,
Hello.
we got him. All right. There's a lot I could ask about, but so I guess
I
overall,
tried
what?
resetting all my settings. Okay, we're back.
Yep, we're
There you
here.
go.
We're here. So how do you feel?
It was very bad. I mean, up till Ice Missiles, I was playing insane. I mean, I was hitting all the strats, and I was scared that I would spend 20 tries on Adam, and third try is insane.
No,
Go
yeah,
try it.
I've
no,
only
get it.
recently started using the zoom feature to help me because, again, 3/4 gave me the idea.
Ah, I see. Yeah, we were
Yeah, I
wondering about that.
noticed like when you were streaming on Discord, I saw that you after you stepped on the thermal pad before ADM, you zoomed in. And I can immediately tell that's what you're going for.
Yeah, because I used to do it back in the day where I was first doing Adam Skip. I barely had any luck with it. Now it's like, this is easy. I'll just use the zap setup. I didn't die to draw, thankfully. My strats for damaging are good enough to do a one tank glitchless run, but I'm not doing one tank.
Yeah, I mean two tanks seems like a good balance for you.
I mean, I've been doing 2 tanks for like probably months.
There you go.
No, yeah, we were. I'm sure everybody at home watching was really pleased to see. We got to see 2 totally different routes. Your early screw attack looked pretty solid. I mean, I'm not super familiar with it, but looks like you managed to get up the ceiling
I
slope.
saved time over PB on that split, and I think I gold gravity, which is insane. I've never seen like a 423. I think I'll have to check live split later.
Mm.
But again, if I got GI first try, I might have been able to get a 120.
Nah, yeah,
I mean,
well. So this is what you did a qualifier this morning too, right? Or did you not?
I did not do a
No.
qualifier this
Oh, you
morning.
did. Okay. So
Metroid
you'll
did.
still we'll still get to see you again, at least one more time.
I'm doing 2 more qualifiers.
2 more, yeah, that's fair. You know, we've got plenty left. So all right. I think that's all I've got. Unless either of you have any closing remarks.
No, but I really hope to play better next time.
You got
Pretty
this. You
pretty
gotta.
sad.
Yeah.
I couldn't be a hobbit, bro.
Well, hey, more time save for next time. I honestly
Time safe for next run.
my morning qualifier, I made a lot of mistakes, so you know.
Yeah,
there's a lot I can
I've made a
improve
lot
on.
of mistakes. What's my sob? I probably mistimed some of these splits. Yeah, how on earth did I get a 140 wide split? That's bonkers. How on earth did I get a 423 gravity split too? Oh my word.
You played well. You executed and you locked in.
My sob's a
Locked in,
11820.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
My sob in NMG is like a 115 XX. I need to retime some of the gold because I had issues splitting.
Live splits are great.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's great when it works until it does not and it messes up stuff.
I couldn't press the dumb button, and it's like it doesn't make sense. It's looking at sob. I mean, it's my morph ball. Oh my word. Yeah. Man, oh my word, I actually got a 219 grapple. Well, I actually split late on diffusion, so I'm gonna have to. I got a lot of fake golds by accident.
Yeah. It
I hate
happens.
not being able to. I don't get technology sometimes. Anyway, GI was probably the worst part of the wrong among other things.
No, yeah. Overall, everything else looked pretty good on your end. Yeah.
I mean, other than like that, I mean, like, oh my word, I can't believe I got a third try ADM. If I got a first try, that would have been insane.
For sure.
I mean, it's not the first time that I've played a first try ADM.
There you go.
All my goals are perfect run, no mistakes. That's what my goals are based on.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't have
Anyway.
anything to add. But GG Metro, good game.
Thank you.
No,
This
yeah,
is my
you
first
guys.
qualifier, my first tournament. I remember seeing the 90% NMG tournament and seeing the matches, and then the all bosses NMG tournament. I wonder what we'll see from B-Dog and Sat.
we were talking about the higher level runners haven't done their qualifiers a lot.
B-Dog's probably gonna get a 114 easy.
We'll see.
We shall see in due time.
All right.
B-Dog sobs like a 113, like 34.
Something like that. So if you want to see some of that, I'm sure we'll be broadcasting them if they like to be on
Don't
Restream
count
next
on it.
one. But I guess trying to wrap things up. Thank you, of course, to Speedgaming for working with us on putting this event together. We've got 2 qualifiers tomorrow, 4 next weekend, and then the real deal starts after that. So plenty of Metroid Dread action in the next month or so. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good evening.
Me too.
Rest of your
I will be
weekend,
prepping.
all that.
I'll be back.
All right.
Well,
I think we're done.
I think so too.
I think I can sign off. I'll be back.